Partners, Prologue, and Tale. The Catholic religion. During medieval times, English society was strongly influenced by the Church, making it a large part of people's lives. The Church was an influence on how people saw the environment, society, history, politics, morality, as well as their own individual place around them. They believed that only the Church could help them get to heaven. Even if it did seem as the Church was helping, there were moments where they would abuse their power for personal gain. Most things were controlled by the Church, specifically the Pope at the time. For example, things like schools, hospitals, and many other aspects of living. Some examples include a pardoner, or people with power who would do favors for others in exchange for money. Who and what is a pardoner? A pardoner was a person who was licensed by the Pope to pardon people's sins in return for money. A pardoner is whoever gets licensed by the Pope. Also, they were permitted to work within specific areas that they got assigned. Pardoner will often go to Sunday services and preach sermons claiming they have the extraordinary power to pardon. Therefore, with the Pope's name, they will issue indulgence and consider it a gift instead of a sale. The Pope licenses whoever gets to be a pardoner. The pardoner, once assigned his area, what is a relic? A relic is known to be the physical remains or artifact of a venerated person or of a saint. It could also be something that is believed to have been touched or belonged to that person. Some examples of what can be considered relics could be the nails that are believed to have been in the cross of Jesus, bone fragments, or wood pieces. Another example could be this reliquary in the image, the skull of Saint Ivo of Kermartin. The Pardoner's Tale Summary. The tale starts with three men who lived in Flanders, or Belgium. They are guilty of four sins: gluttony, drinking, gambling, and swearing. Highlighted: the four sins of gluttony, drinking, gambling, and swearing. The pardoner preaches against the actions of the three men, and how each sin affects people. Gluttony can be connected to the story of the Garden of Eden and Eve. Drinking makes people go mad. Gambling is a deadly temptation that ruins lives, and swearing is denounced in the second commandment. Then there is a funeral bell, and the men find out their friend has been slain. In pursuit of to find death, they find gold under a tree. When the men find the gold under the tree, they make plans to steal it without the knowledge of others in town. The youngest is sent to bring food and instead buys poison in an effort to make the gold all to himself. While this happens, the two men waiting at the tree plan to kill him when he gets back to split the wealth. The end result is all three men dying as a result of their greed. The moral of the pardoner is ironically telling us that greed is the root of evil and is emphasized with the gold found at the root of the trees. The moral of the pardoner's prologue and tale. Hypocrisy. The pardoner's preaching versus his actions. In the beginning, it is made evident that the pardoner is someone who is dishonest and greedy, and even admits to it. With the recitation of the tale and preachings, the pardoner disregards the previous statement and acts like a trustworthy person. Additionally, he criticizes those who commit the same sins he committed when preaching this tale. Lastly, during the epilogue, the pardoner furthermore demonstrates hypocrisy when asking the audience to repent through his pardons. Corruption. Manipulating others for one's benefit. Even though the pardoner admits to his lies, he is able to persuade the audience to trust him and follow him. The pardoner does this with his tale that preaches a religious moral and by creating a sense of responsibility for repentance. In the end, the pardoner ends up with the donations and money, and the audience is left misguided. The pardoner is very good at manipulating the audience's emotions to make them feel guilt with his corrupt ways. Greed. The desire for wealth can easily lead to one's downfall. Greed can be seen as the main motivation or cause of the partner's hypocrisy and corruption. The methods that the partner uses to make the money are all examples of hypocrisy and corruption. Furthermore, in the tale, he tells the three riders greed that is what divided them and caused their demise. Summary. The partner's tale. The host tells the host the story of his job. The theme that the partner goes by is Radix Malorum Est Capudicis, which means avarice, greed, is the root of all evil. He describes in his tale a sermon against the people who drink, gamble, and swear. Summary continued. At the end, the partner tells those on the journey that if they touch his relic, their sins are forgiven. But they need to pay first. It also shows he is greedy and wants nice things for himself, even though he gets his money from the poor working people. Quotes. Modern translation. By this trick have I gained, year on year, 100 marks since I made partner. I stand like a cleric in my pulpit, and after the unlettered people sit, I preach thus as you have heard before, and tell 100 false stories more. The partner doesn't even try to hide his greed and dishonesty in front of others. It seems as he's boastful about it. He takes pride in his actions. The partner feels no guilt in his described actions, and his attitude at the beginning of the tale sets a precedent for the partner's character and how it is connected to the tales. O cursed sin, above all cursedness, O treacherous homicide, O wickedness, O gluttony, gambling, and lechery, you blasphemers of Christ, in villainy, swearing out of habit and of pride. The way the partner talks to his audience is similar to the way the preacher gives a sermon. Here it can be determined that the partner is in fact acting as a preacher, as stated in lines 61 through 66, who wants to uphold righteousness and religious values. This is a different tone from the beginning. My holy pardon will save you from vice, so long as you offer gold and sterling, or else silver brooches, spoons, and rings. With these statements, the partner's hypocrisy is made evident. The partner's confession, earlier seemingly forgotten, as he corrupts the audience with the moral of his tale. He even goes to the point of asking for donations and pardons, claiming that they will be saved from their sins. It can be discerned that the partner enjoys what he does and the winnings he earns.